All right. Testing, testing. Audio. We're about to call John. Hopefully he picks up. I don't have my headphones. Damn it.
Hello.
Hey, is this John?
Yes.
Hey, John. This is Tyrell, Christine's son.
Hi. Yeah, she texted me to say you were going to call. I
Yeah.
had sent I had sent I had sent your mom a text message asking if you, she, the two of you, however it works out, do you have any interest in increasing your offer that you put on paper of 500 even because I'm selling the house.
Uh huh.
I thought I'd give you first shot at it, being that you did see it back in, I think it was December.
Right. Okay. Well, first off, I appreciate it definitely. And I appreciate you reaching out to my mom. She was actually pretty excited because she talks to me all the time about you, and just hoping that we could reconnect. But so I was kind of taking a look at it. Had you come up with like a certain price in mind that you was hoping to get for it?
Well, I wanted to get 600. I've got a guy with a partner that is willing to pay 550 for it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to give him an answer this evening, though. So I don't know if you have any interest in coming up 50,000 from the offer that you'd put on paper or not.
Gotcha. Okay. 550. So if we can get you a price that you were happy with and you were good to go, like, would you be ready to start the process? Would you be ready to start the process with me either today or and tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd be ready. I mean, do you think there's any chance you could come up to the 550? I mean, as I said, I've been watching the comps in the neighborhood. I have a basic idea of how much the house would be worth turnkey if it was all fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would have liked to have got 600 for it. I don't know if I want to hold off and see if I could get 600, but if I could sell it for 550, I think I'd just go ahead and sell it now.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Okay. Um, man, I mean, I have it kind of pulled up right now. I know that we were at 500 originally. We were gonna do I think it was like a $40,000 earnest money deposit, as soon as we got an agreement in place with you. Um I know that we're working on some other projects. I'm not sure if I mean how much I want to try to get you as much as we can, but I believe we're gonna spend all of maybe around $100,000 to completely redo this like the entire house. And I think that if we were at 550, we run a pretty good risk of um not walking away with I guess meat on the bone, so to speak. But I mean, let me just kind of pick your brain. How much better do you think you can do? I mean, how much closer do you think you might be able to come to the 500 if we can obviously get the process started and, obviously take this property off your hands. I know we shook hands, we met, we're pretty much know what has to be done here. Um, but I believe 550 might be pushing
Well,
it a
I
little
have
bit.
I have two guys that are partners. One's a contractor, one's a realtor. They're
Mm-hmm.
willing to pay 550 for the house. So,
Okay.
I mean, if you don't feel comfortable, I fully understand. If at 550 you with what you'd have to put into it, I understand completely, no explanation needed. I just wanted to give you the first shot at it, being that you saw the house a long time ago. But
Right.
it sounds like you're leaning more towards your 500 or not too much above that. Am I assuming correctly?
Um, well, I mean, I don't want to let a deal go if I think we can make it work. I just want to see again, like I want you to do what you're most comfortable with, and that's why I said I appreciate you reaching back out to kind of, at least give us a shot, I mean, if we were able to do if we were able to come closer to the 550 and I can get something like and I can get that approved, how soon would you be ready to like get an agreement in place so we can get these other guys off your back and we know that we're good to go, we're solid. We can get EMD in, pretty quick, and all that good stuff.
Well, how long would it take you to determine if you could get up to 550?
Um, my underwriting partner and the guy, they're probably still up. I can just shoot him a quick text and see, he can pull it up, and I can see if I can get approved for it within probably just like the next couple seconds.
Well, if you want to try that and give me a call back, that's fine.
Okay. But you're more, if we can't come to the 550, that's you're gonna essentially, you know, go with one of the other guys who could do 550.
Yes, yes.
I got you.
So, yeah,
Okay.
you need to come up to 550. I understand we're talking about 50,000. I understand you don't think, the numbers can work for you. Completely understood. I just wanted to give you first shot at it. So
Okay.
if you just want to pass on it, don't even
Yeah.
bother calling or texting this person. That's
Yeah. Let
fine with
me
me.
give me 2 seconds. Let me actually call him. I'll keep you on the phone. I'm gonna put you on a hold. Let me give him a quick call and um he'll let me know right away if we can get that done. And then just to confirm, so
Okay.
so if we were able to do the 550, could I send over paperwork to your email right now and we go over everything and then we get it in place?
That would be fine. That would be fine with me. And then, I mean, are you talking no contingencies, no inspections, all of that, or what are you talking in that regard?
So for the most part, our agreements that we use, they pretty much come standard, either 30 or 60 days. What timeline would you be hoping to close in?
Well, no sooner than 30. But are you talking about any contingencies?
I mean, for the most part, no. Like we've already kind of been in there. But our contingency is pretty much built into, like our 30 days, right? So if we write the agreement up for 30 days, we have 30 days to get in there, obviously check it out, get pictures, um, because I definitely want to get back in there once we have an agreement in place, if we can get one in place and agree on a price or come up to that 550. But yeah, I mean, our contingency is basically, hey, look, we got 30 days. If you need 30 days, we can close as soon as you're ready. You're saying not before 30 days, so that's fine too. Um, we can probably just put 45 or 60, and then just whenever you're ready, we can set the closing date. Um, for whenever that is. But as soon as we're good to go, we'll put up EMD. Um, and then once we get like closing date ready to go, we can go hard on that EMD. Turn into non-refundable, all that good stuff. But to answer your question, yeah, our contingency is just basically, you know, for however many days that we have the agreement for. So if it's 45 days or 60, that's, we have that much time.
Okay, so you're not, you don't want to have any contingencies, for example, of doing a home inspection or anything of that nature then? Am I understanding that correctly?
So for the most part, our we don't have any kind of contingencies like where we come out and do like an official inspection and have an appraiser come out or anything like that. I mean, we understand you're selling the property as is, and we'll be buying it as is. So, I mean, all we're gonna do is come in, obviously walk the property again, probably take some pictures, um, have our contractor go in there, and that's pretty much it. We'll be good to go.
Okay, so, do you need to contact this person and find out if you can do the
Yeah,
550, or
yeah. Give me,
what's the next step to do that?
yeah, give me 2 seconds. Let me call him up really quick and see if we can get approved for that.
Or do you want to do, I mean, we're already at 9 o'clock. Do you need to do it first thing in the morning?
Hey, listen, if we can get this deal done tonight, I'm willing to get it done. If we can get that 550 approved, I'll be more than happy to spend an extra 5 to 10 minutes with you going over the agreement. It's pretty standard, and it's just a one-page agreement, and then boom, like we'll be ready to go. That way tomorrow we can get started on opening up title, get all the documents together, and get it over to title. So let me call him really quick. Let me see if we can get 550 done. Let me just put you on a quick hold, okay, John?
Okay, all right.
About to lock this up, son, for 550. Okay, we gotta pull his property up. Okay, today is 9, 18, 24. John Bill Mott. Oh, I don't know whose name to put this in. Oh, oops. Okay. Keep him on the hold while we get this attorney in fact. Okay. I guess scenarios first. Mm, I have his email. I have his email. You guys ready? Next. Seller. Buyer. Date. Name. Email. John. Name. Home. Email. I might not do this attorney in fact. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna just do it anyways. John, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good news, man. Let's go
I'm
ahead and get
here.
it done. Let's go ahead and get it done at the 550. Um, so 550, right? That's I just want to make sure I got that right. And it was for the one on Michigan
Yeah,
Boulevard.
5526 Michigan Boulevard.
Okay.
The offer that you had put on paper was for the house on Iowa Drive, but this is the one on Michigan, 5526 Michigan Boulevard.
Perfect. Okay. Do you have are you able to pull your email up on your phone or are you in front of your computer?
I'd prefer to do it on a laptop.
Okay. You have your laptop handy?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Let me know when you got your email pulled up. When you do, I'll go ahead and send it through, and then we can go over it. We can go over it together, line by line. I'll show you, obviously, all the important terms in here that we agree to, and then we can talk next steps.
Yeah, anytime you can send it. I got my email up now. What is the in terms of a closing date?
Uh-huh.
What's the furthest what's the furthest out in the future you would be willing to do?
So typically standard we do 30 to 60. Um, what did you have in mind?
Um, well, 60 sounds good to me. If that's I've got that I have that car, that old 1950s car in the garage that I have to get rid of. I have to sell it, so
Okay.
I'd need a little bit of time to make sure I get that out of there. I wouldn't want to do like a 30-day close, but
Okay.
60 should work. Is 60 the furthest out in the future you usually do?
For cash deals, we typically try to stay around 60, but however much time you need, that's fine. And just to let you know, we count each day, we only count business days, right? So I put 45 days in the agreement, and if we needed an extension, if you needed an extension, that's a cakewalk. We can just put that in place, extend it however many days, however many weeks that you need, and then we can go from there.
So in the contract you write 45, but it's only business days.
It's business days, right? So like the weekends don't count, so you'll kind of have more time. Like you have all the weekends, right? It's only really counting business days because the title companies don't
So
work.
does it,
Title companies don't work on like the weekends, so like they only work Monday through Friday. So all of our agreements, they're
yeah.
business days. So 45 business days, which do you think that's enough time? And if we needed an extension, we can obviously put it in there, or whatever you need. We
I,
can obviously make that addendum amendment to the contract.
yeah, I think that would yeah, that so yeah, 45 business days, not counting weekends. Are holidays also not counted?
Um, that's a great question. Like I said, whatever we need to do, like we're flexible, right? So if you need time, if you need extra time, we can put it in there. Um, but that's a good question. Nobody, I don't think holidays, yeah, that's a good question. We don't have to count the holidays if you don't want.
Yeah, let's yeah, let's not count them. That's fine with me. I just need you know six, basically 2 months, 60 calendar days, however that equates to in business days should work for me.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think there's a chance that would you want to are you comfortable with because
And
I have 45 on there now and I'm ready to send it to your email, or do you feel more comfortable with me changing it to 60? It'd probably take me just another like 60 seconds, 90 seconds to do that, and then make the edit, and then I can send it at 60. Or are you comfortable with 45, and if we need more time, we can just go ahead and do an extension? Because we obviously really can't close
that's fine
until
if
you're
you're
ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine. If if you're willing to do an extension if need be, if it's 45 business days, that should work okay with me.
Okay.
Which title company do you like to use?
So we have a couple that we use. We've been trying out a new title company. They're nationwide and they've been working pretty well for us. They're called Cypress Ascendant Services. They have like mobile notaries and all that good stuff. But in the agreement, I just put to be determined because I'm not sure who we're gonna go with yet. Just because they're still a little new. We have a couple other people that we've used in the past. And then one of my partners, he might want to um, put everything in his LLC, and then possibly use um, one of his title companies. So I just have it on there currently as to be determined. Um, And once we figure that out, then we'll just send all the paper. We're gonna probably get this sent over to a title company tomorrow. So someone local.
When the time comes to sign the papers, is this a local place where there's a an office I can walk into, or how does that work?
Yeah, so if we pick a local spot, if we end up going with a local spot, then you'll be able to once we get to that point, yeah, you'll just be able to go in there if you like, to sign any documentation. Or a lot of times, what happens is these title companies have mobile notaries, and they can meet you at like a local Starbucks. They can come down to your house if you like, or again, right, if you wanted to go into the actual branch, you can do that as well.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in regard to the title fees, we just I pay what by law I have to pay, you pay what you have to pay, right? I mean, I had one person wanted to buy the house and he wanted me to agree to split all the title fees 50-50 type thing.
So typically, we'll cover all closing costs. As far as title, um, as far as like title, I mean, there's gonna be very minimal fees that you'll have to pay. Most of all the closing costs is it's in the agreement as well. Um, Almost all the closing costs is going to be covered by the buyer, by us on the buyer end.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and send it over to you because a lot of that stuff's in the agreement, and we're able to basically just see it in there. So I got your email already. All right, cool. Let me know when it pops up for you. I just sent it over.
Is this Joseph Bibbo?
Correct. It's gonna be from Joseph Bibbo, and it's gonna be a
Okay.
DocuSign document. I'm gonna open mine up. So hit open. You'll click the checkbox so you can view the document. You'll hit continue to view, and then just let me know. Let me know when you have it pulled up and you can see everything.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up here.
Okay. So this is a real estate purchase agreement. This is what we use for all of our transactions. So the first paragraph is just describing this agreement is made on today, the 18th, between John Wilmette, yourself, and myself, Tyrell Pryor. It's gonna describe the address. This you can kind of just eyeball through it too to make sure everything in here is right. 5526 Michigan Boulevard, Concord, California 94521, and then that is the legal description of the property. Um this description includes any fixtures, window and floor coverings, built-in appliances, shades, blinds, window and door screens, awnings, outdoor plants, trees, and other permanently attached items. And then the purchase price that we agreed upon. So the seller agrees to convey the property to the buyer for the sum of 550,000. And then now we get into the other terms. So I'll kind of just go through each one of these with you. Um, Closing costs, as I mentioned, those are going to be paid in the following fashion: buyer to pay for warranty deed, closing fee, and title insurance. So there you go. That's on the buyer's end, that at least the title insurance is. Seller is to pay any costs required to provide clear title, any back taxes, or any liens. So number two is any taxes owed, excuse me, will be prorated, appropriate prorated between parties at closing. So if you've paid property taxes for the entire year already, those will be prorated and then um, basically
Right,
dispersed at
right.
closing.
Yeah.
Okay. Number three, closing to be set as soon as possible for all parties, but no later than 45 days from fully executed contract date. The seller grants any
Yeah, this
extension.
here, I mean,
Uh huh.
no later than 45 days. It does not specify business days, calendar days, nothing. If I was to just read that as 45 days, I would think it was calendar days.
I got you. Here, I'll let me go ahead and make a quick edit. So I'll put
You going to
that.
change that to 60?
Matter of fact, let me just if you're more comfortable with 60, that's cool too. So let me do 60
Yes.
days. Um, let me see here. Let me make sure there's nothing else that I need to revise in here. So I'm gonna just put the 60 and then give me 2 seconds to make the edit. What was um you need 60 days. Did you have stuff on the property that you needed to remove, or did you need help removing anything, or
No, I don't think so. I've got that car. I got the car in the garage that I need to
oh
sell
right,
and get
yeah,
rid
yeah, the
of.
car. Okay. I
As I
remember.
mentioned, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, that's. I mean, if it wasn't for the car, we could close in 2 weeks, type thing.
Gotcha.
It's just I got to be able to get that car sold and get it out of there. And then there's some debris in the garage I would dispose of. The fence, the back of the property, the fence between the two properties along the back, along not either of the side property lines, but along the back was replaced. And so a lot of the debris from the old fence I just piled in the garage to get it out of the way.
Okay, gotcha. You know, you can probably take pictures of the car. You probably already know that, and just put it up online.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. It's got to be, it's just a parts car. It'll have to be towed away.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, with you making, oh, okay, it says correction in progress on this
Yeah,
DocuSign.
I just made the correction. I wonder if you'll have to back out and open it back up, but let's see. Okay, yeah, the corrections are made on my end. Let me know. Maybe you have to either refresh your page or go back to your email and open it up again. Let me know once you have it back up, and then it should reach 60 days now, um, on number three.
Yeah, it does read 60 days. Closing to be
Perfect.
set as soon as possible, but no later than 60 days from fully executed contract date. Okay.
Perfect. So now that's either
Now,
that's 2 months regardless, but that's also, like I said, since we count business days, it's really longer than 2 months, right? So you got a full 60 days minimum. Um, like 60 calendar days, and then obviously much longer time since we're just counting business days, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay, perfect. Number
Now,
four.
number five, closing to be held at. Now that's gone now. Where, what did it say? TBD, to be
Yeah,
decided. That's now gone.
yeah, I had it as TBD, just so we don't have to either white it out, or it's easier if it's just blank and then we can just fill it in. Um, but yeah, so I just blanked it out. And then once we'll figure out by tomorrow morning which title company we're gonna go through, and then well, we can take care of that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
All right. So number four is obviously you're selling the property as is, um, with no warranties implied or stated from the seller. We went through number five, and then number six. This contract is contingent upon a clear title and final inspection of the property by buyer or buyer's agent before closing, that the property is suitable for buyer's needs and plans. So we kind of talked about that. Um, Number seven, this won't apply to you because it's not a rental property, but I'm gonna read through it. So if the property's rented, rents will be prorated as of the date of the sale. Security deposits will transfer at closing. On the settlement statement, seller to provide all leases and documents within 5 days. Number eight, seller to provide the buyer with permission to access property solely for purposes such as evaluation of repairs needed, appraisal of said property for securing financing, and professional advisement on resale of property. If the property is vacant, seller shall provide buyer with the key to access property specifically for the reasons above. Seller understands buyer may assign this contract to another person, entity, or trust at closing. Seller agrees buyer may terminate this contract at any time without risk of specific performance, lawsuits, or monetary damages. Number nine, the seller warrants they do not know of any city, county, or local government issues or liens on this property which might be pending. Just to go over that really quick. We've had times in the past where there was like additional liens or encumbrances on the property that we didn't find out until much later in the process. Is this gonna have a clear title? Are there any other liens that we should know about? Any other encumbrances on the property, or should we be good to go?
No. Now back to this. Back to number eight.
Okay.
Seller agrees buyer may terminate this contract at any time without risk of specific performance. Well, what do you mean by that? I mean,
Well,
so
that's just in
the way,
there. Yeah, so that's just in there just for our protection if we decided not to move forward and purchase the property. Right? Otherwise there'd be no way out if we decided to, not take on the property. But um yeah, I mean that's in all of our contracts. But um yeah, I mean I'm sure that's pretty much in most contracts. Something along the lines of termination of a contract.
well, that's not that. This isn't the contracts I've been involved with recently
Mm-hmm.
in selling property. I mean, that's like a contingency. So you've got, so the way this reads, you've got a 60-day close. So on day number 59, you could decide to walk. We,
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean technically, but I mean, we're wanting to buy the property, so I mean, there's no, I mean, unless of course there was some crazy thing going on with the property, I mean, we would know that right off the rip anyways, and we would let that be known. I mean, there would be no reason why we'd wait till the last day to even do something like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, so and at the end of the day, like once we once you're ready to set a closing date, and once we're 100%, like we walked the property, we took our pictures, and then we're all ready to set a closing date, we'll put a non-refundable EMD in, right? So um that's gonna go up once everybody's ready to go. Now I know in the
So
past
when,
that
like,
was $40,000, but I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna be now, but it'll probably be, we'll have a non-refundable EMD, as soon as everybody's ready to go.
so how many days from now are you talking about?
So I mean, all we really need is to get our people in there, and then once they're good to go, we'll get EMD deposited into escrow. So I mean, that could be a week from now, it could be 2 weeks from now. We still have to get title opened up, and then do the title search, and then obviously come out to the property again. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, we should only need. It shouldn't be that long.
Well, what do you need to have your people go in and do?
Just get probably just get in there and get bids for everything. Like I mentioned, take photos. I mean that's pretty much it. I mean we raise money for all of our deals, um, so we don't ever use our own money. Um, so we'll get a couple people in there. They'll walk the property. We'll get bids in. And like I mentioned, once they're all ready to go, and then you're ready to set a closing date, we'll put EMD up.
Well, if you're talking about 2 weeks, I'm not comfortable with that. So theoretically, 2 weeks, you could decide to walk. And then I've lost this other sale that a man wanted me to call back this evening.
Uh-huh.
I thought you meant when we first started talking today, right now. I thought you were talking about putting earnest money up like tomorrow, being that you're buying the house as is. What is there to look at? What's there to determine?
I mean,
You saw the
typically,
house in.
yeah, yeah. Typically, I mean, typically,
Well,
like I
I'm
said,
not going to wait. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks. We
okay,
can
that's fine.
forget the whole thing. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks and have you're talking about having people go in and submit bids and all that, and
Okay,
then
well,
you decide
if
you
you're
don't want to
comfortable,
pay as much as 550.
we can. If you're comfortable, if you're more comfortable with like 5 days, I can put 5 days on here for EMD. That's not a problem either. I mean, I'll just have to add it in here, but I can put that in here.
And then what has to be done before you put up the earnest money?
Well, nothing has to be done. We just have 5 days to put it up. So I mean, that just means obviously, we're gonna make sure that we get out there, make sure we're good to go. But nothing necessarily needs to be done.
Okay,
We just have five.
this is okay. This is what I'm when I say what has to be done,
Uh huh.
you say nothing has to be done, but then you're talking about getting out there. What do you have to do at the house? What do you need to do at the house, look at the house, et cetera, before you put the earnest money up?
That's it. We just have to come back out to the property. I mean, it's the last time we was out there was in December. So I mean, we just have to get back out to the
Okay,
property. That's it.
do you want to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah. I could see if my partner's available tomorrow. I mean, I know I'll be available tomorrow. But I want to make sure he's able to get out there. So I'll definitely check with him, and we'll get out there as soon as possible. Most certainly. But I just want to make sure, like, you're if I put 5 days for EMD, you're comfortable with that, right? So that'll give us Wednesday, Thursday, the weekend. I don't know what he's got planned, but that'll give us till what, Monday or Tuesday, I think.
Okay, if this guy can come tomorrow, Thursday, why can't the earnest money be put up Friday? Why does it have to wait till after the weekend?
So so we're talking. I mean, we're talking about putting earnest money up. I mean, again, I don't. I mean, we don't. We raise money for all of our deals. So the money. I mean, we can have it. I don't want to limit ourselves to saying, "Hey, we have one day to put up earnest money." In most typical contracts, it's at least 3 days.
Okay, all right. So, um, and you deposit that, whatever the proper word is, with the title company, correct?
That goes, yes, that goes in escrow.
Yeah, that goes in escrow. Yeah, with the title company.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that needs to be written in this contract, before I sign anything.
Okay.
So,
Okay, let's go. I'll make sure I'll write that down. We can put that in there. Let me finish going through the rest of it with you so that if I need to make any revisions, we can make sure we get that done.
okay,
Okay? So we left off number 8 and number 9. Okay, we're pretty much at the end here. Um any furniture, fixtures, attachments and debris located in and around the property not removed prior to closing become ownership of the buyer. Buyer to take possession of the property upon closing. Um okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, unless you have any other questions on this, then I'm gonna go ahead and sign my end. Oh well, actually,
okay. Well,
I have to make the revision.
I'm not signing my end until
Correct.
that is all
I need to
written
make
in
the
there.
revision first. Correct.
So it's now 9:36. So you want to call me in the morning when it's all ready to go. I want something written in this contract about the earnest money. It'll be put up within X number of days. Um, and then once the earnest money's put up, oh, first off, how much is that going to be?
um, I mean, how much earnest money would you want?
What do you generally put up? I thought it was a certain percentage
Yeah,
of the purchase price, of the contract price.
I mean, typically we'll put up like 5,000, between like 5 and 7,000. Is that something that you'd be comfortable with? That's typically what we put up.
I thought it's generally 3% of the contract price. Am I wrong?
I
And I
mean,
thought you were saying, and again, at the beginning of this conversation right now tonight, I thought you definitely said something about 40,000 in earnest money. Did
okay.
did I hear you wrong, or didn't you say 40,000?
No, that's correct. That's correct. So that was back in December when, I was out there with one of my guys. And those were the terms that we had last time, right? So, I mean, obviously some time has gone by. Things have changed. And I mean, are you not comfortable with 5,000? Would you be more comfortable with, I can put down 15 if you're more comfortable with something like that. I just want to make sure you're comfortable. And obviously, we're good to go. And obviously, I'm not going to have you sign anything until you're obviously absolutely ready to go. So, if there's anything else that you want me to do in here, just let me know. Um, I can do
Well,
15.
the earnest money, I thought standard in California was 3% of the contract price. Is that not correct?
I mean, no, I mean, sometimes it's 1%, sometimes it's 2%, sometimes it's 3%. 3% is 16,500. So that's why I just rounded to 15. I mean, just let me know what you're comfortable with.
Do you want to round? Are you willing to round it up to 20 if it's at
Okay, we could do 20.
16.5?
We can do 20.
20,000 earnest money,
That's fine.
and 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 making sure I'm clear on that. Once that, being that there's no, you're buying the house as is, there's no contingencies. Once that money is put into escrow, at any time before we close, if you decide to back out of the deal, that earnest money is mine to keep, correct?
Once we go hard on our earnest money, that's then obviously, yeah. I mean, anything that we put up, once we go hard, then if we were to back out, then obviously you keep that.
Okay, what, I'm not familiar with that phrase. What do you mean when you quote go hard with your earnest money? Once you deposit it in escrow with the escrow company, is that quote going hard?
It's not. No. So, um, I mean, we're like I said, we'll put EMD up. We'll get 5 days to do it. Uh, Essentially, once those 5 days are up, then it's considered hard. Does that
Well,
make sense?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So if you're going to put the EMD up within 5 days, once the 5 days is gone, then that money's in escrow. If you back out for any reason of your choosing, I keep that earnest money, correct? Uh,
Yes.
right
After yes, after the 5 days.
after the 5 days. So what are you going to write in this contract as the date that the earnest money has to be put into escrow?
I'm putting 5 business days of fully of executed contract or date of this contract being signed.
Okay, and when do we need to decide on a title company? The last two transactions I've been involved in, simply because they're local, both times I've dealt with Chicago Title, there's a Walnut Creek office.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we'll have title figured out tomorrow, tomorrow end of day latest. I mean it's 10 o'clock right now. I mean, I just got to make a couple phone calls, see which route we're gonna go. But yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, nothing's gonna be able to happen anyways if we don't have a title company. I mean, not anything can be done. Like we have to send all documents to them. So
right, I understand that. And tomorrow's Thursday. So,
correct.
write these revisions in, well, this says your session's timed out anyway. So it's already almost quarter to 10. Make the revisions in the contract. You want to call me in the morning, or I'll just check my email and call you, or, but you need to write, however you're going to word it in the contract, you need to write about the earnest money, when it's got to be put up in escrow. And do you write in the contract, whatever the legal verbiage is, that once that, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but once that earnest money is put up, if the buyer, being there's no contingencies, if the buyer decides to walk down the road, that earnest money is there for the seller to keep. How is that worded in a contract?
Yeah, I mean, we typically again, so going over, we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier about the contingency. So if we have 60 days on the contract, um, like I said, that's pretty much that is our contingency period, and that's. I mean, we haven't ever had any issues with that, or with like I said, we use this for all of our transactions, and hardly have any any issues there, and so essentially the 60 days is our it is our um technically like our period our inspection period.
So you're saying that 55 days into the 60, based on your inspections, you could decide to walk on the whole deal, correct?
That's what we typically do, yeah. But hey, listen, we're on the phone if and I'm negotiable. So again, it comes down to whatever you're most comfortable with.
Well,
So
well,
so we can
I
do
mean, maybe we're not. I mean,
let's
my
do
understanding of the word
uh-huh. Sorry, go ahead.
my understanding of the word contingency, the scenario that I just laid out, 55 days out of 55 days into the 60, if there's something you decide you don't like about the house, of course you can walk, you can bail out of the whole thing, but the earnest money is mine to keep, correct?
After inspection period, correct. You got that right.
And the inspection period is this 5 day business.
So I'm gonna put in here. So this is what we've done in the past. What I'm we our inspection period for the one that we've been using recently, all with all our transactions. Our inspection period is the full, whether it's 30 days or 60 days. And then number eight, we went over it, right? We would obviously have the option if yes on the 59th day or the 29th day to back out if we wanted to, right? That's I mean, I don't see why we would do that. But if you're wanting if you're you mean if that's a deal killer for you, you let me know and we can put provisional terms in here that are going to make sense for you so that we can get it done. But if we're doing it an inspection period, I won't. I mean, typically we won't do lower than 10 days. So that gives us the 5 days for the earnest money deposit to go in, but a full 10 days, which would mean after the 10th business day, our earnest money deposit would go hard and would be non-refundable. But we do have that 10 days to, if for whatever reason, back out of the deal. Would that make more sense for you?
Only, well, absolutely. If you're talking about allowing, 30 days, 60 days, and you decide that you can walk and take all of your earnest money, I mean, we can forget this whole thing right now. I'll go with this other prospective buyer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to agree to that. And if you're, I can, we can do 10 days. That's fine. But what is the point? What is the point in writing it in the contract that the house is being sold as is, if you're wanting to do inspections? Makes no sense to me. Why is it written that you're buying the house as is then?
Well, that has to be stated in there for the simple fact that we're not. This isn't a traditional transaction where you're putting it on the market and people can come in and say, "Well, we want you to do this to the property. We want you to make these repairs to the property." So you're selling it as is. We're buying it as it sits. So we can't come and ask you or request for any kind of repairs or anything like that to be done. That's why that's in there.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
so you're going to write in the contract. You're going to write in the contract about this, about the 10 days. Is that calendar days, business days? What is that?
It's going to be business days.
Okay, for you to do whatever, look at whatever you want to look at.
Correct. Yes. Correct.
Okay,
Okay.
and then once the 10-day clock is up, the earnest money is in escrow, and if you decide to walk anytime after that, the earnest money is mine to keep, correct?
Yes, it is. It's non-refundable after the after it goes hard, which is after inspection, which would be the 10 days.
Okay. Well, why don't you make those changes, do what you need to do. I'll check my email in the morning, call you, you can call me, whatever. It's 10 minutes to 10.
I mean, I pretty
So,
much have the
should we
revisions
just talk in
done.
the morning?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much have the revisions in here now if you were ready to go. You probably just need like 60 more
Let me take.
seconds.
Now, what about any disclosures? The last two real estate sales I've been involved in the last 2 years, last year and the year before,
Mm-hmm.
I was told that there's certain disclosures, regardless of what type of a sale it is. In this case, a as-is sale. I've been told both times, last year and the year before, that there's certain disclosures that are required by state law, like lead paint and all that.
Mm-hmm.
When do we do those?
And
What
the,
what
the did were those private sales or did you were those like on the market? Like, did you go through? Did you list your properties or were those private sales?
They were not private sales
Okay, yeah,
like we're doing here.
yeah. Then it's not. We don't really have to worry about those.
Mm, that's not the way it's been explained to me. If we don't do these disclosures, then purely a hypothetical scenario. If I don't, the house was built in 1962. If I don't disclose to you that there could be lead paint, in the house, then down the road you could sue me for not disclosing that. So,
Well, no, that's why
like I
again,
said,
and
there's
that's
been
another
disclosure.
reason. Well, that's another reason why that part where it says the property's being sold as is. That's another big reason why that's in there. So it's communicating that you're selling the property as is, and we're purchasing the property as is. So that there's several reasons why that is in in the contract, and that's one of them. So you're selling it as is, we're buying it as is. It's like if we were, buying a car off of Craigslist, and we know that we're purchasing it as is. I mean, it's our job to, find all that stuff out essentially in our 10 days of inspection period. Because again, once that inspection period's over, I mean, what can we do, right? Earnest money's in. If we back out, we lose out on, our $20,000 and so on and so forth. So I mean, we have to do all these things within those 10 days. So, but again, that's why that's in there where it says properties being sold as is.
All right.
All right, give me 2 more seconds. Let me just make sure. I really appreciate your patience too, John. And again, I just hope we can put something together that works for us both. I'm about to send it over right now, and then I'll just ask in advance. Let me see. Let me put this last one in here. Email, text sign. Okay, text, email, date. Okay, correct. Okay, the final revision it should be in your email now. Um, just let me know once you got it. Continue. Okay,
Who
let
is
me.
this Joseph Bibbo?
What's that?
Who is this Joseph Bibbo?
Oh, that's just the account that my DocuSign is under. Yeah,
Oh,
so yeah, it comes through under his name because that's the name on our DocuSign account. Let me know when you got it pulled up so I can go over the revisions for you.
I got to pull that.
Okay, so go down to the
I get
bottom.
it pulled up.
Go down to the bottom, number 12 and number 13. Let me know when you're there. Uh,
Yeah, okay, number 12, additional items, EMD of 20,000 will be deposited into escrow no later than 5 business days of contract signed.
Correct. And then number 13, inspection period begins on the date this agreement is signed and concludes 10 business days later from the day in which the contract is signed. EMD will go hard after inspection period of 10 days.
Okay. Now, if I sign this right now, it's going to be dated the 18th. Wouldn't you prefer I sign this in the morning so it'll be dated the 19th?
Nah, it's not that big a deal, honestly. If anything, I could change the date now and just put the 19th, and we can both sign it now, and I can just change the date instead of it saying the
Well, it
eight.
doesn't matter to me. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Um, you're being
and EMD stands for earnest money down.
earnest money down, earnest money deposit. Yeah, correct.
All right.
Let's um did I do the
So
okay,
deposited
okay, the
into escrow no
19th.
later than 5 business days of the contract signed. Inspection period begins on the date this agreement is signed and concludes 10 business days later from the date in which the contract is signed. EMT goes hard after inspection. Now, what are you correcting? I got a box that says
Yeah,
something's being corrected.
I'm changing the date from the 18th to the 19th since it's 10 o'clock and
All right.
yeah. And correct. Okay. Hopefully that's the final revision. that we have to make here tonight. But let me know when you see it. I put the 19th instead of the 18th. So yeah, you'll see if the changes were made. If you refresh your page, you'll see it says the 19th at the top. Everything else is still in there. Purchase price, your address, your name, 60 days, and then the additional terms are still at the bottom. The EMD of 20,000 and the inspection period at the bottom as well.
Okay. So, and then when do we need to decide on a title company? And how does that work? Do you just go to a title company with a signed contract and they can open escrow?
Yep, just like that. Exactly. So yeah, I'll put together all the paperwork. Put together all the paperwork. I'm gonna start making my phone calls, and then once we decide on title company, um, we'll get that figured out. Get it over to them. I'll call you up, let you know what we're doing, and then we're gonna see about getting out into the property. So, uh, yeah, and then pretty much the time starts tomorrow, essentially. So just if you can for me, John, just make sure obviously I can get a hold of you. Is this your best number still?
This is my only number, my cell phone.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I'll be reaching out to you. Um, Let me know when you have that finished up, and I'll finish it on my end once you have as well. There'll be one box you have to type in your actual phone number, and everything else should just be a
Yeah, I've
click.
done that.
Okay.
Now, this last page where I sign my name, it doesn't matter to me, but to the right of that, it still shows the date of the 18th. Does it matter, or will that change when this is closed, when I
Um,
hit finish, or
nah, nah, because no, because at the top it says the agreement is made on the 19th, so that's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, little intricate thing. I don't think that'll make a difference. Not to the title company, at least, and not to me.
any taxes, just jumping back to this line number two, any
Sure.
taxes owed will be appropriately prorated between parties at closing. Well, that just means I haven't paid any property taxes for this new fiscal year that we're now in, 24, 25. And since it sounds like we will be closing before the, as you know, the first installment's not due until December 10. We're going to be closing before then. So I probably will not ahead of time pay any property taxes, but in escrow, of course, I will pay July 1 to whatever date we actually officially close, right?
Correct. That's exactly right.
So that's what that means.
Yeah, so if you haven't paid any taxes, I mean, property tax is obviously going to be due. So, that'll all happen in escrow, and then obviously ownership won't be transferred over until closing date. So they'll do all that at closing. That'll all get figured out. That's pretty easy peasy.
Right, right. Okay. So do I hit finish here and then that's it?
That's it. Now, let me know when you got yours done. I'll do it on my end, and then we'll be good to go. Let me know when you got that finished up. I'll get an email.
Okay, I clicked finish, so
Got it. Yep. It
I
came
assume
through.
that should show up. on your end.
Yep, perfect.
What's that?
Yeah, I got it. It came through. So, what is um what is access gonna look like um over the next few days?
Um, I mean, I can meet you. You mean me meeting you there to let you in?
Yeah, so I mean, however you'd like to do it.
I'm
Yeah, I know it's vacant, so if we can either do, every time, if you want to, if you won't want to meet up there, that's cool. If we're probably gonna be out there maybe once, maybe twice, a handful of times. So whatever works for you, and then obviously what we got to get in there. So we can do, we can meet you, we can coordinate, or we can set up some kind of lockbox, or we can say, hey, I mean, we have the next 10 days to do what we need to do. So I just want to make sure we have good access.
well. I can meet you there sometime tomorrow and just, I guess, give you a key.
Okay, we can do that. I live right down the street, so and I'm pretty much free. Well, I can always just slide down there. Um, Come over there really quick. Um, and we can get that part done. What's a good time for you? I'm usually up pretty early.
Afternoon would be preferable to me if that's okay, like early afternoon.
Okay. Um,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Yeah, I'll
Will that
I'll
work?
I'll definitely reach out to you tomorrow to confirm. And I'm gonna actually reach out from my this is my work phone I called you off of. I'm gonna reach out on my personal phone. It's a 925 number. I'll either text you or call you. And then if I don't hear from you, I'll just have my mom reach out to you just to confirm 1 o'clock is good. But I'll put it in my calendar now to meet you out there at 1.
Just text me if you need to adjust that at all. Otherwise, I'll just see you there at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, John, thank you. Congratulations, and let's go ahead and get this done. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I'll see you then.
All right. Talk soon.
Okay. Talk to you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Holy fuck. Remember that deal you walked with me and conquered back in December? Question mark. Like, look,